Great ideas can come from anywhere. With Wix, you decide where they go. Put your ideas into play with AI and watch them shape every aspect of your website. Explore as many layouts and designs as you want. Then zoom in and dictate the mood and vibe. And when it all comes together, launch your idea into the world where it belongs. It's your business, your website. You do it yourself on Wix.
A superior smooth taste worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
Just think about it right now. Everything's okay. No matter where you find yourself, no matter what kind of stuff is going on in your life, underneath it all, everything's actually all right. You're okay. You have more power than you might be giving yourself credit for. If you have something that's going on in your life right now that's challenging, painful, it's just a reminder to take a little bit better care of yourself. Because you're worth it. You can have this feeling anytime you choose.
All right, so you just went Big Willie style on this. We just found out that Raijin actually, done some big upgrades to his computer stuff.
Also
Made
got
me feel like a peasant. It's
also
okay though.
also got
It's
8
okay.
terabytes of M2 storage. So.
Damn.
What? Golly.
But that
Whoa.
that also doesn't count all the new parts I bought for my Plex server too. So
New
I-
cards
yeah.
you bought for what now?
with my Plex server, like I was running off Hustle's old rig, but I was just like
The one that broke?
No, that it was still working, but it was a lot of old parts and stuff like that. So it was running 24/7, so I was like, who knows how long it's gonna run? So I kind of just
Yeah, that one was old. That one
So
was
you was out here running a crypto mining scam.
oh,
you don't
Both
supposed
of
to
y'all-
say it out
y'all was-
loud. Nah.
Y'all,
my name. Listen, my name is not.
y'all
Logan
was
Paul,
y'all was the
okay?
mining house.
My name
I
is
need to
not
come over
Logan
there and get
Paul.
some
I
money,
am
bro.
not running no crypto scam.
I'm just saying, I need to come over there and get some money, bro. I need some money, bro.
I wish it was mining like that.
I need y'all to help
Right?
a brother out, bro.
Yeah, give
Should've got
a brother
should've
some
got
tips.
Bitcoin when we
Give
had
a
the
brother
chance,
some
bro.
tips.
We all should have got Bitcoin when we had the chance. Man, I had the opportunity to get it so early, but didn't.
Hindsight sucks.
Because
To be
my
fair, you
brain,
thought
my
it was a
brain
scam.
couldn't get over the fact some random Singapore, whatever it was, just made up money on the internet and people just went with it. My brain, I had a mental block and just couldn't get it. And it was like, oh, it's gonna be the future. I mean, they were right.
I mean, they were wrong,
I'm
but
the
they
one
were
that said
right.
that. I was like, you talked me out of it at the
Well,
time.
here's the problem. Here's the
Because
problem.
some random dude made up internet money and no one thought that shit
It don't
was gonna
sound right.
No
It
one
doesn't,
thought-
it
I
doesn't
mean-
sound right.
All right. So bang, dig it like this, right? Some random dude made up internet money, said this is what we're gonna be spending in the future. Guess what? As much as we hear about Bitcoin, I still don't know one place to actually spend it like as it is.
It's always like random stuff. Like there's some smoke shops around here and some liquor stores that have like the little Bitcoin
The
actual
machine,
like
yeah.
pay machine stuff like that. But it's like nothing like major. Like you can't go to like grocery store and use it or anything like that.
Yeah, you can't
not
go to
gonna lie.
Walmart and use Bitcoin yet.
Tesla was gonna allow you to use Bitcoin, but then they retracted that shit.
Who?
Tesla. You don't
Oh.
remember that? Tesla was going to let you buy Teslas with crypto.
I don't pay any attention to it.
Then President Elon walked that back.
President Elon.
I mean, what do you expect?
Shadow president.
Like legit, what do we expect at this
We
point?
really are living through a Metal Gear game, like right now. Like,
Nah,
really
it's
are-
like it's straight Naruto. You gotta have the Shadow Hokage, you know.
Oh, you right.
Got a Donzo in the shadows.
Right? Actually, Donzo Elon is kind of like pretty like on the money a little bit.
Not wrong.
I mean, if he got a collection of eyes in the basement, bro, or built into his arm, I'm
They were
calling for
trying,
help.
they were
I
trying
can
to get you to
imagine
do the
to find out
implants,
Elon
remember?
got a cybernetic arm.
They were trying to get you to the little implants, remember?
Oh yeah. But now they're running the Neuralink trials. I'm not signing up for that. I'm sorry.
Nah, I'm good.
So I'm back, guys. I'm sure that everyone has missed us. I apologize that we were not on last week or the week before. Again, I was traveling. I had some work things to handle, and then after traveling, I actually ended up really sick. So, COVID and all of that stuff happened, and you just never expect it to strike when it strikes. All I can say is if you guys are out traveling, besides all of the mess that we have going on with airplanes and stuff, just try to, be safe, keep a good eye on your health, and just make sure that when you're around people that you kind of still mask up, still kind of protect yourself, even in a weird way. Like, I know there are people out there who don't like masks or who don't believe in COVID or who won't do vaccines, but like the thing is that even if it wasn't COVID, like I just think that when you're out amongst a large group of people, you should just throw on a quick mask because we don't live in a society where people actually mask up when they don't feel well. So people go out and they don't feel good and they're just spreading the germs anyway. So even if it's not for the sake of COVID, like I always tell people like, yo, if you don't feel good, like instead of coughing and sneezing and putting that into the air, just throw a mask on real quick. You're gonna be around other people. It feels like common sense, but remember that common sense isn't common.
Not common.
At all.
So
Yeah, you would think people in offices would do that too. Like, oh, I'm sick. Yeah, I should just mask up so I don't spread it to everybody that I work with. No. They
nah,
don't.
forget y'all.
Like-
But yeah, so that's just my my one and only tidbit. But welcome back, guys. Welcome back, everybody. I can't really see what everybody is saying at the moment, so I'm gonna ask Mr. Wizard to provide me with a little chat link so that I can interact with you guys that are watching. Thank you again for joining us today. We got some good time. We got some good conversation that we got to go on today. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that we got a nice little tidbit of things to talk about. But anyway, welcome to Start Button. I'm your host, King Anarchy. Here with us, we have our other hosts. So we have Mr. Hustle Simmons, the one and only Ryjan.
What up? What up?
And of course, friend of the show, Mr. Goji Senpai. So, I actually wanted a nice little group here today because there are things that even if we haven't like played certain games, like there are things that the mind of the gamer, you know what I'm saying, kind of wonder, and like we got answers because we are those people. Like we're a show that likes to engage with our audience because we feel like we are our audience, if that makes any sense at all. Like, I personally feel like the people that we're talking to are literally the same people who, I'm addressing. Like, I am those people. And with that being said, we just try to make sure that you guys are comfortable with whatever it is that we're saying. Like, we're trying to make it so that it's understandable for everybody. Anyway, without further ado, I want to kind of get into tonight's questions. So I want to start off with a question for all of you guys. First question I got for you: with all of the new games that come out, we get tons of games. Sometimes it feels like we're in a gaming lull or whatever. But with all of the new games that come out over the year, we see all these reviews. We see people talking about the different games or whatever. We hear about other people's experiences, and that's what usually determines whether or not we buy a game. Now, some of us have our favorite games. One of my favorite games is Monster Hunter. Some people's favorite game, Call of Duty. Some people love Assassin's Creed. The question that I have for you is, when you have a new game coming out in an existing franchise, do you feel like it has to upgrade with each instance?
Kind of depends on the franchise. Some you get the instances where if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Okay.
And then you get instances where like it's no mystery that like it's funny because I don't even have one. Oh, yes, I do. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I always keep a Bulbasaur near me. Pokemon is a franchise that in its 25 years of releasing games, it hasn't innovated much.
What?
And it's one of those cases where the Pokemon company is looking at it like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because with each iteration, no matter how much we as the fans complain about it, they just become higher selling than the next. Like Scarlet and Violet were probably technically the worst Pokemon games that have been released ever. And they became the highest selling franchise console, the highest selling single console franchise, like day one ever. It sold like 10 million first day. And when you look at things like that, and then everybody complaining about it, and then dropping the money for the DLCs for it, of course Game Freak is gonna look at it like, yeah, nah, we don't gotta fix this. But there's a lot of things that they could have innovated on within these past 25 years that they just haven't.
Well, why
Then
would
you
they
get
if it sells like
if,
10 million
exactly.
copies? It's the 2K. It's the 2K problem. It's literally just Pokemon is just NBA 2K and Madden with cute little creatures. That's all it is.
But my issue with that is I'll go back to about Madden 16 or 15 was probably the last good recent Madden game. But even deeper than that, if you go back to Madden 08, that had the most features in any Madden game ever. Like pure raw features for a sports game, it had the most. If EA would have stayed there and kept the if it's not broke, don't fix it mentality and continue to just make that good as opposed to removing things and making the game less just to add things 5 years down the line and say it's a new feature, they would be a better game franchise than what they are now.
All right. So to combat that point of view, because I actually completely understand that one. But the counterpoint to that point of view is you see how Madden comes out and people are complaining that, oh, it's always the same. It's always the same. All they do is add a new roster. Well, I'm going to pay $60 for a new roster. Call of Duty every year. Oh, this game is always getting 8s and 9s and 10s, but it's always just the same game, the same gameplay loop. It's the same this, the same that. You know, they might have added a little bit better movement today from 10 years ago. Maps change. Battlefield is a game where they are constantly trying to change something, and they're constantly trying to improve, but it almost feels like they're not afraid to fail, if that makes sense.
Or
Like they
not
are
afraid to
afraid to fail,
experiment.
because obviously if you look at Battlefield 2042, they didn't do well, but they did a lot in order to try to fix that game. And then now there's another Battlefield coming out, so they're just going to keep cranking them out. They're not going to do every year like they do with Call of Duty, but they're going to keep cranking them out. So that's why I say, like, does your Call of Duty game have to improve every year? Do they have to add something new for you to buy it? Like, does your Assassin's Creed did a complete overhaul of how the game operated at a point, like what, 3-4 years ago?
So to take those two examples of Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty should advance where Assassin's Creed should have stayed with what was the bread and butter and what was really the core of the franchise as opposed to trying to innovate.
Nah, I don't think I would have liked each Assassin's Creed game being the exact same, like, because I'd say that old style Assassin's Creed peaked with Black Flag, and like once they fixed Unity, it was all right, and I still enjoy Syndicate and Rogue, but I think something did have to change with that franchise. I don't know if I would have gone full pseudo Skyrim, Fallout, collectathon RPG.
Black Flag kind of did that,
but it didn't have the RPG of it, so you didn't have skill trees. You didn't
This
have
is true.
You didn't have you didn't have skill trees. You didn't have like special death blows, or like it still kept the same thing, but they just added they just expanded upon the pirating part and like the boats from like Assassin's Creed 3 that was briefly in the game for a little bit, and they just expanded upon that. And then unfortunately that gave us Skull and Bones. We see where that went. But
Yeah.
Black Flag had the ship combat great. But after a certain point, it was just like, all right, I think for a franchise like Assassin's Creed, it does gonna get to a point where it's like, all right, we gotta shake something up a little bit. We can't just make another Syndicate, because that was the last one before Origins came out. So it was like, all right, we gotta change something.
But there's a difference between like changing and innovating. I feel like they could have innovated on the old system as opposed to completely changing it. because they basically made like the original Assassin's Creed up to I think it was Syndicate, the last one before Origins. Those are basically a completely different game than Origins and Beyond. Like if you were to act like if someone was to come up to you today and ask you like what's a good Assassin's Creed game to get into, you would have to break it down to them that there are two different styles of Assassin's Creed games. And depending on what type of style, do you like the more hardcore stealthy gameplay or do you like the more RPG action style of gameplay? Because then you would recommend either the original franchise or the modern one. Kind of the
And
same
so
way.
now Assassin's Creed has a completely different identity from what it used to have.
Kind of like God of
Insane.
War.
Yes.
But God of War
Yes.
was executed way better.
Okay.
The original series of God of War
That's what he
games
asked.
are true, very true.
Rambo says some games are able to be 90% the same due to the player base, while others are completely new franchises trying to make a name.
Yeah, I mean,
True.
if you look at since we brought up Call of Duty, if you look at it, the fan base is very fickle, right? Because at the same time, they want things to be different because they don't want to play the same game all the time. But then, if you make something different, then they go, "Oh, well, this is too different. I don't want to play this." Like, in my opinion, I'm probably gonna be in the minority here. My favorite Call of Duty, this is my favorite. I'm not saying best, favorite. In terms of like it being different and adding new shit and completely shaking things up, was Black Ops 3. That's my favorite. My favorite, y'all. Just mine.
That's not really
yours.
a
Not
controversial
saying it's the
take.
best. But if we're talking like innovation, changing things up, changing the formula up, Black Ops 3 did a lot of that.
I think a lot of people would agree with you on that.
It did a lot. The story was unique in that. Listen, that moment where that robot tears you apart in first person is like haunting to see that again. The
I don't think I
multiplayer-
can actually tell my favorite Call of Duty and why.
What is it?
No Russian.
Okay.
This is my
I'll be honest. I probably
Russian.
have the most out there favorite Call of Duty, and it's Infinite Warfare.
I'm about to say Infinite Warfare. I knew it.
Black Ops 1. Still my favorite one.
As a zombies fan,
I don't
I
like
enjoy
zombies.
it.
That's why. That's what caught me.
I play zombies. That's my niche in Call of Duty. I used to play multiplayer heavy up until like probably Black Ops 3, but Black Ops 3 is where I fully like became a zombies player. And yeah, I feel like that's why I said what I said about Black Ops 3, because Black Ops 3 is known as the best zombies game out of the entire franchise.
But then you had the community that went, we don't want to play space stuff and shoot lasers in boots on the ground. Then you got boots on the ground. Then you went, no, that's not good enough.
Let me ask you a question. So the crazy things that happen in Advanced Warfare.
Hmm.
You don't remember Advanced Warfare?
Exosuits.
Yeah,
Oh,
they were
okay,
trying to go
okay.
Titanfall.
Packs
Mhm.
just floating from one place to another across the entire
Wall
map.
running.
Yeah,
That's
they were trying
true.
to
Wall
cover up
run, yeah.
Titanfall.
It was getting crazy. It was getting crazy. And then they flipped it on us and went World War II.
Which they complained about going
No,
back to World
but
War II.
no, because you know what it was? Infinite Warfare, and Infinite Warfare had the most disliked trailer in YouTube history, and everybody hated it. And before the game even dropped, people were screaming boots on the ground and we want it back. And when Infinite Warfare came out, it flopped. It didn't sell well. And Call of Duty said, well, you want boots on the ground? Here's World War II. And World War II was a horrible game. Like it tried
I mean,
to be,
I liked it.
It had its
like Cold
quirks.
War.
I'll say that it had its quirks. Again, I'm a zombies player, so
But it
as a
was
zombies player,
also
the first
World
two
War II, and I
zombies
didn't
maps,
want to go back to World War II. Just like
Same.
I didn't want to go back
yeah,
to who wants to play in World War One?
yeah,
Who
nah.
wants to do that? Give me an M16, give me an M4, bro. Like Battlefield. Get
I'm
it
not
together,
gonna lie.
bro.
They should one year just did like a April Fool's trailer for like Call of Duty World War One, just showing like the actual package and just like
And
saying,
the
"Nah, we're
stick
not doing that."
grenades.
Yep.
Call of Duty Revolutionary War. I mean, we
Don't
have
do
had
that
a
because
Revolutionary
guess
War
what?
game.
We ain't at April 1st yet, and they can still hit us with something like that.
Call of Duty Pearl Harbor.
Oh Jesus.
Let's do World War II.
Hold
I'm
on.
saying let's do
Hold on.
let's do Revolutionary War.
Hold
Packing
on, let him cook.
muskets and
Let them
we
cook
gonna
real
be
quick.
packing
Hold on.
muskets.
Hold on. Call of Duty Pearl Harbor. Could you imagine a Call of Duty game literally made around airplanes and ships?
That would just be Battlefield, wouldn't it?
No.
Nah, Battlefield's never actually had like good
Battlefield is also
naval
boots on the
levels.
ground. Pearl Harbor was literally all about the Japan attack on Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
So literally you could imagine like ships shooting at planes, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And them creating a like an invasion story.
So here's the reason why we would never get that game.
We would not.
Because Activision is too afraid of not making money to go too far off the rails. Again, as a zombies fan, we've been asking for a standalone zombies game for years now.
Yeah.
That game would sell.
Nah, y'all
You
just
give
gonna
us
get
a
Warzone.
standalone zombies game for $30 or $40. It's literally just a bunch of zombie maps, a bunch of different things that they've released for zombies throughout. It would make money. They're afraid to do that because they're afraid that they're going to lose the Warzone fans who are free to play, but they're spending all the money on Call of Duty right now. They're the ones spending all the money. So
I
if
think
they can't,
partially, but I think another part of it too is they don't want to go through the effort of having to put the resources and time and money into that when they just got the freemium thing. So I think they, if it wasn't like having to spend the money and time on that shit, maybe.
So T-Tabs, Warzone kind of is a standalone franchise.
Yeah.
The way that Warzone works, you download Call of Duty Warzone, you can get the game separately from Call of Duty. Like you do not have to actually purchase the game when the new game comes out, when the new updates come out, whatever the case may be.
now
It'll
they
be
just have a launcher.
downloading Call of Duty, but it's still actually just Warzone. It will let you play for free. And what the zombies fans have been asking for is for something similar to that effect, where you get the new zombies from whatever the new game is. So like, but like, you know, even still, like you don't have to purchase Call of Duty. It's integrated, but you don't have to purchase it. So
Yeah,
it's
you don't have to
weird.
do anything in any of the games. You can unlock the guns just by leveling up in Warzone for each game when each game drops. I used to play
Yep.
Warzone heavy, so yeah, I know. It's its own thing. Warzone is literally its own thing.
They
To the
want
point
you
where
to
they
play-
started adding Warzone mechanics into the regular Call of Duty games,
Correct.
into
And
the
also-
multiplayer and zombies.
To your other point, Activision refuses to let one studio run Call of Duty because if Activision let one studio run Call of Duty, it would take 3 years for a game to come out.
Yep.
And this way, they would not actually have a Call of Duty every year. That's
Yep.
why they've been swapping three Call of Duty studios religiously for probably 15, 20 years at this point.
20 years,
Because
20
it
plus
was
years.
Infinity Ward, it was
Treyarch.
Infinity
Treyarch,
Ward, Treyarch, and
Sledgehammer.
one more.
Sledgehammer.
There you go. So
And then
it
Raven was
Raven?
in there for a little bit, but then
Raven was in there
started
because Infinity
collaborating with
Ward is no
Call.
longer in there.
Yeah,
Right.
So it was still Sledgehammer, Raven, and Treyarch.
Yeah. Honestly,
Yeah, but they won't do 3 years with real updates, etc. Like that's the problem because if they're developing a new game, they're not updating the old game. You know
They
what I'm
were-
saying?
Here's the
but
thing.
they were supposed to take a break.
They tried it.
Modern
They
Warfare
did
2.
it. They did it. It was either Modern Warfare 2 or 3. One of them.
Modern
the one
Warfare
that
2,
came
they
out
were
before the
supposed to
last
take a
Black
2-year
Ops.
break, but instead they released Modern Warfare 3 immediately the
Oh
year afterwards.
Yeah, they stated that they were going to start taking a break and start having one studio focus on it. It didn't
And
happen.
that's why most people said Modern Warfare 3 felt like a DLC instead of a
Yeah.
full-fledged game.
It kind of was.
It basically
It
was.
really was. It was just an update.
Yeah,
It
because
was
that's
just
when-
it could
DLC.
easily just been levels in Modern Warfare 2. Like it didn't need its own separate game.
It could have been an expansion pack. You could have just called it Modern Warfare 2. Whatever.
But if it ain't broke,
don't
don't
care
fix
what you
it.
call it, as long as
Activision
you
put
pay
it
that
out for
$70.
$70 and it's sold. So why are they going to change it?
Not wrong.
Slap Call of Duty's name on and it's going to move.
Mhm.
Maybe things will change now that Bobby Kotick is officially out. Possibly.
You just
Probably
love
not.
living in Copeland, huh?
Listen, you gotta have hope. You gotta be.
You
You gotta
just-
be
you-
some. You gotta be positive. You gotta be positive here,
You gotta have
right?
hope
And
to
all
deal
that
with
copium.
You gotta have hope to deal with the cook.
We gotta be positive. We can't be them negative gamers that just. Just blah, blah, blah. There's too
Or
much of that.
we can be the
Can't be the
realistic
negative
ones
gamers.
in
Are
the
you a gamer,
community.
sir?
Yeah,
We can be
Said,
the
when are
realistic.
you never the negative gamer? What?
I enjoy a bunch of stuff.
I'm not saying that you don't enjoy stuff, but we have to be the negative gamers. If we don't look at it with that eye right there, the one that you was just doing right there, if we don't do that when every time that they give us something, guess what we get?
Modern Warfare 3.
NBA
Yeah.
2K, the update.
Star Wars Outlaws,
I'm gonna say NBA 2K.
Suicide
everything.
Squad.
Madden, the update.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't disagree with you, T-Tabs, because I love Battlefield. But so to our point, right? So the follow-up question was, does the new game have to do the same thing as the old game?
it can innovate on it.
For example, Borderlands. What made Borderlands 2 great, but 3 not?
The story.
The story and
Yeah.
the characters weren't as fun to play.
To me, it wasn't even the story or the characters. There was something missing that 2 had that 3 didn't.
I'm gonna be
I
real.
I can't put my hand on it.
Handsome
Three
Jack.
It
just
didn't feel as fun to play.
Yeah,
Handsome
it
Jack.
didn't feel as fun.
Yeah, it is kind of hard to top Handsome Jack in terms of a villain. Like,
But no, that's what kind of what I was getting at. Like the Vault Hunters in 3 don't play fun. Like in 2, in 2.
you didn't like the
Gage
girl with
was
the
a
back.
Gage was a DLC, by the way.
Wait, yeah, Gage was a DLC for 2, the Necromancer. And so was Krieg. But like
Krieg was too.
They were fun.
Yeah, but you had Maya, you had
Yeah, and I ain't gonna hold you.
I
Krieg
always
was my
forget I always
favorite.
forget the Gunzerker's government name.
Can't remember his name.
You had Zero, you had Zero, you had Maya, you had Gunzerker, and I'm almost forgetting the fourth fucking character. Who was that?
And the
Ashton.
rolling guy.
Or Anton or Ashton?
Ashton,
I thought it was
It's an
Anton.
A.
the soldier guy. Like
Yeah.
His name begins with an A. Right?
it's
I don't know. After the DLC dropped, I ran with Krieg
Axton. Yeah.
every
I mean,
I was close.
I used Gage. Yeah, like that was just like I like
used
building
Zero.
a robot and letting them go out and do whatever they got to do. I'm a healer by nature, bro. So like whenever I play a video game, like literally, it's just like, all right, you guys go ahead, do what you got to do. I'm gonna be back here. I'm gonna snipe. If y'all go down, I'm gonna come in there. I'm a one-man army. This shit. I'm gonna heal you. I'm gonna make sure that y'all get up. I'm gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? Ghost Recon Wildlands is my shit. You know what I'm saying? But you won't catch me going into the objective.
That's
I'm
me.
gonna sit 300 yards out on a hill, and I'll make sure that everybody's dead by the time you walk up to that door.
I was
Man,
gonna say
got an
another thing
AR
too
and
is that
SMG
Reed
I'm
just
breaching,
kind of Reed did a lot of really shady things from a monetization standpoint. Like a lot of the DLCs didn't really offer.
In Borderlands?
Yeah,
Yeah. But we
And then
I
they-
wasn't really talking about like
I'm I'm saying that's part of why it failed
monetization
too.
wise. It's just like 3 didn't feel as good gameplay wise. You know what I'm
So
saying?
for
Like, and that was
me, like I said, it was the story for me personally.
Okay.
I played through Borderlands 2 so many, like the story, like so many times. I played it on PS3, played it on Vita, I played it on Xbox, I played it on everywhere I could get it. Like even to the point where I just downloaded it on my PC as soon as I built it. Like it's a game that I love to play. Borderlands 3 was only fun when I was playing with my homie. Like when it first came out, we ran it, the whole story co-op, and we just like ran through the story. And there's nothing memorable about it at all.
It
Like
felt like a chore to get through.
the
just to get to the
twins
end.
were barely
They were
villains.
okay. They weren't.
Some of the bosses, there was a couple bosses in it that like, yeah, like, and of course the whole point of Borderlands, collecting loot, like that was okay, but it wasn't it like, yeah, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it either, but there's just something that was missing as far as the gameplay too. Because yeah, it was fun going back through 3 and collecting guns and finding. You always, no matter how many times you play, you're gonna find something that you didn't have. Or,
I mean,
or
my
didn't
favorite
find
thing
before.
out of 3 was the one girl that has the mech suit. That was that class.
Moles.
Like, yeah, Moles.
I played
Moles
Flag.
is fun.
Yeah, I played
What?
Flag too. Having a pet,
Beast Tamer.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, but
all right. So how long can a game stay the same before it needs to change?
how good is the game? Grand Theft Auto is the same game every time it drops. If you really think about it,
It's not.
if you
No.
really think about
Grand
it.
Theft Auto
The
went through a
core.
complete overhaul.
Yeah.
Grand Theft
Oh.
Auto used to be a top-down.
Okay,
1,
so
2,
from
London.
3, yeah, I love London. People don't know about London 69. People don't know
Like,
about
let's
London
be
69.
real. It was a complete overhaul. It completely changed the game.
Yeah.
So from 3 forward, they've been basically the same games at the core.
No.
I would say that San Andreas was
compare-
drastically different from Vice City.
San Andreas is
And then
drastically
they
different
dropped
from 3.
most of the mechanics from San Andreas going forward.
Mm-hmm. So that means they also changed the game again.
Touche.
Like, sure, you know that with Grand Theft Auto, what you're getting into is an open world, drive around, do what you want game that gives you that freedom. And if you finish a story, you finish a story. If not, you're still gonna have fun. But not every open world game is designed like that. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get into a little bit more of the open world things that a little bit later. But like, not every open world game is designed like that. Like a lot of the open world games that I've played, which I thought that I loved open world games as a genre, and I've come to find that I really don't.
Yeah.
I really don't. I start finding them boring more often than not because traversal, getting from one place to another, the little side quests and the little side missions that pop up, oftentimes I get stuck on doing those because I feel like I'm a completionist. And with me feeling like I'm a completionist, I never finish.
Yeah.
Nah.
And then I divert from the story because I want to get this and this and this, and because this will increase my level. It just it diverts you from actually sticking on to the, like, I don't want to play a game on rails, but at the same time, I don't want so much freedom that I lose the story.
I think the problem is that a lot of open world games aren't designed in a way that keeps you entertained and occupied, and the world isn't crafted around. I think the world isn't crafted from the beginning to be an open world game, right? Because when it's a good open world game where you feel like your time is respected and you feel like the world is full of things to actually do, you don't mind that. Like Cyberpunk 2077's open world is a great open world with a lot of stuff going on.
Mhm.
Characters interact. Like you can stand there and watch people do things all day long.
Yep.
And they all have their own interactions, right? As opposed to, like, let's say, and I hate to say this, Dragon's Dogma 2 is it's a chore. Dragon's Dogma 2 is a chore. I haven't finished that game still. But it just gets to a point where I'm just like, I started getting bored with Dragon's Dogma 2. And the traveling, having to walk everywhere because they don't have any sort of mount system in it. which is insane. In a world that big, you have to walk.
Darrell, I definitely agree with you. He said, I'm fine with open world and cars, but Red Dead has shown me that I do not like slow open world.
Yeah,
That's a
Yeah.
fine, fair point.
like Red Dead 2.
That's a
great.
good.
Like Red Dead 2, fantastic game. Nope, not
Amazing
saying that.
game.
I have yet to replay it fully because the
It's slow.
beginning of that game is so
It's a trek.
slow. Oh,
Yeah.
like go through the mountains in the winter. Oh my god! Like I was looking through, I was, is there a mod that skips this? Like puts me in the game. Like god damn, dude! Like, it's like, but that beginning's so great. It's like I know all these damn characters now. I need to get past winter ASAP. Like it's such a chore to play through. But I love that fucking game. But damn, that beginning sucks.
Yeah, like
that is exactly how I felt about Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
I literally,
Yeah,
Tommy,
and
I
Horizon
really
Zero Dawn is
just
one of those open world games that there are games that are crafted to be open world, and
Yeah.
you can tell by how dense they are and how much there's actually to do in the area. And then you got Horizon Zero Dawn that's just a wide
It's just
standing
open.
area, and
do
yeah, it
this.
looks nice over there,
Grind it.
and it's cool to see, but there's nothing.
I'm going to be
And-
honest with you. God of War, the new God of War, Ragnarok, and just God of War in general are open world feeling, but they're on rails games.
Like instances.
And that's exactly what I want out of a game. I want the feeling, I want the visuals of an open world. I don't want to really be restricted on a map, but I want to be able to follow the story and get through it and have a decent amount of time. Like, I don't want a 15-hour story. Like, I can beat that in 2-3 days. But if you give me, a 300-hour story that I'm never gonna finish, then I'm the same way.
yeah, you have to make and you have to make the traveling, you have to make the traversal feel fun.
Right. The
You have
division,
to-
even though you're on your on feet the whole time, and the
Well,
world is still relatively open in a city, it still kind of guides you along the path that you want to go, so you don't have any troubles completing the game. You might see a little something on the side every once in a while, but and the Division 1 did this way better than the Division 2 did. Division 2 was still a good game. I beat it. But the Division 1 was like the masterpiece of that whole thing so far.
Yeah.
Now imagine they made a Division 3. What do they need in order to capture the magic of Division 1?
the right
That's the
location.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
probably the most important.
They have a ton of
thing.
locations that they could probably use.
Maybe London.
But you
Dubai.
have to pick the it has to make
I
sense for
said
the
doing Rio would be
story.
crazy.
It has to
What?
Remember what we were talking about? I said doing Rio would be crazy.
Oh yeah. Ooh, yes. Rio
Could you
de
imagine
Janeiro?
the division? Oh my gosh. Or the division in Mexico City.
So okay,
Tokyo?
okay. Now with that, do you fall into the terry of it becoming too close to Wildlands or Breakpoint?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Wildlands and Breakpoint were drastically different, and they did things that they shouldn't have done there. But
Oh,
again,
yeah.
that's what we're talking about with the evolution of things. Because Wildlands, even though Wildlands actually got a lot of flack when it first came out, and was like, "Oh, it's not a good game," and this and blah blah blah.
Once
But-
Breakpoint dropped.
Something that they did with Breakpoint was they added that level system, and Breakpoint never felt as free as Wildlands did. So I wanted that sense of freedom that Wildlands gave me, but Wildlands also still kept me on mission. It still kept me on point. Breakpoint, I just started feeling lost all over again.
Yeah, there has to be a consistent here, you need to be here, but there's also side missions here.
Right.
Cyberpunk 2077 does a great job of that. Of hey, this is the key quest. You need to go here, but hey, if you want to go
So-
explore and go do some side shit, you can.
There's no
But this is
reason
the
I should
main
get in a
driving
Ghost
force.
Recon game, and if my last one I'm shooting down a guy, and then I come to the next one, and now they got a level bar over their head and a skull next to them, and no matter how many bullets I put in, he just won't go down because
Yeah,
apparently
that's
my guns
bad.
aren't strong enough. Since when do bullets get stronger?
Got a level up on bullets, son.
Besides
The bullet is a
changing the
bullet.
caliber,
That is a bullet sponge.
I
Literally.
don't want that.
No one really does. No one wants.
If I
bullet
wanted that, I'd have
sponges.
played the Division. I mean, when I want that, that's what I play. I don't play Wildlands for that. I
I
want to be
think-
able to
Right, that's
headshot
the
a guy
realism,
from
yeah.
500 yards because I've done it. Want to be able to headshot a guy, calculating wind, and he's done.
Here's how I think they should do it. Make an even system. If I get shot critical point, cool. I can shoot them critical point, cool. We're so me plus the NPC are in an agreement of like they can hit me just as hard as I can hit them. I'm fine with that because it requires my team to be more tactical. Hey, we can get headshotted and that's it. Boom, we're done.
Nope, it don't
We
work
can
like
headshot
that.
them too.
You waste 15 clips on me, and then I
Nah.
shoot you one time and you die.
Nah,
Nobody
That's
wants
how.
bullet sponge.
That's the rules. Dim's the rules.
I've been wanting a game that's like that, where like they actually do count. Think of like Call of Duty's hardcore mode, but PvE, where it's like one shot, depending on where you get hit. Like actually how the human body would be,
Yeah.
but it's PvE, not PvP. I think that would work.
Yeah, because you couldn't balance something like that in PV.
Nah.
PvP.
That's why I don't play games like Tarkov. I can't do that.
Nah.
Somebody just brought up PUBG. Yeah, nah.
Y'all, that's
PUBG
for
had
y'all.
updated graphics that would immediately go to that. Sure, I could see that.
The best extraction.
PUBG started a movement, whether we want to realize
Whether
it
we
or
want to
recognize
admit it or not, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Destiny 2 would like to talk about bullet sponges. You know who would like to talk about Destiny 2?
Boom.
Hey, Loon, the
So,
Church
hold
of
on, hold
Destiny
on.
2 is calling.
Before you say anything, the person who just mentioned that in chat, that me and him have been playing Destiny together since Destiny 1. Yeah.
I've been playing Destiny since Destiny 1 when it didn't really even have a story. But guess
Yeah.
what?
Hey,
Destiny
there was
2
trading
didn't change
cards,
much.
man.
There were grimoire
Right.
cards that you had to find offline. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look them up
Listen,
on
And
your
they go
computer.
read them on your computer because
Go read them on your computer.
No,
Nowhere
me-
near your
here's-
game.
I'ma
the
give
game
you a
wasn't
guess
even on
rank.
PC
story.
yet.
I'm gonna give you vanilla Destiny before any raids, none of that shit
Mhm.
happened. Me and Raijin sat there and played through the entire story of Destiny 1 in like what 4 hours, 5 hours?
Yeah, because there was
We
no
got
story.
to the last
Before the
cutscene.
Vault
We were
of
like,
Glass dropped.
It's like
that was it?
Where's like
That's it.
where's it's
That's
like
it.
where's the game? Where's the game? Like that's,
That's
it.
it.
It's like
That's it.
You don't
Literally it.
a thing. But every time you pick up a dead ghost of sudden, a grimoire card pops up that you can't
Nope.
click in game.
Yeah,
Go on,
yeah.
go on your
There.
computer, go on your phone, and find it.
Log into Bungie.net.
Okay, so do you think that game devs should be rewarded for trying something different or new, even if it doesn't end up being as fun as they hoped?
It depends.
reward's a strong word.
That's a very
We
I mean,
reward
alright.
them by buying the game
That's a
and giving
choice.
them
Sure,
good reviews.
But when I say rewarded, I don't necessarily mean like we should give them something. I mean like,
yeah, no.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Commended.
do we praise
Okay.
a franchise for trying something different, trying something new? Look at Battlefield.
I do.
I mean, you know, they put in hovercrafts and stuff like that. I mean, it ended up that you could drive a hovercraft up the side of a building, but they were still there.
Listen, give me back my
The-
mechs from Battlefield
Hold on.
2142.
They did cops and robbers, you
The
know, with
last
Battlefield
time-
Hardline, and people thought that
The
was trash.
last
But guess what
time-
came out of that? Payday.
True.
The last time we praised the company for trying something new and coming up with a innovative and amazing mechanic in video games, they patented it and never dropped another game. Shout out to Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor for the Nemesis.
Oh
system.
yeah, yeah.
Well, Shadow of
yeah.
Mordor. Well, they came out with Shadow of War. Did you know? I actually read something recently, and this is a little interesting tidbit of information. Did you know that GameStop actually had a hand in the creation of that patented system, that Nemesis system? It was because of something that GameStop did that they created the Nemesis system.
I was gonna say, what was it? Giving them only $5 for a $60 game for trade credit?
After you just
But-
bought it,
Best I can do is $3.
store
Because
credit.
I'm sure GameStop became a lot of people's nemesis after all that.
Yeah, I
That
don't
goes
really
back to
know
the-
the whole story, but definitely if you want to hear more about it, 1000% look it up because
That's
I
so weird.
like literally just recently read that
I
GameStop
can
actually
believe
had
it.
something to do with that whole Nemesis system. But like even beyond something like the Nemesis system, like for instance, Demon Souls. Demon Souls turns into a whole Souls-like genre.
Literally created a genre. that everyone's trying to mimic.
Metroidvanias.
I feel like that in itself is praise with all the copycats and clones of the Souls-like game.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
But the game
got
it
that
wouldn't have been copied if it
We got the
wasn't
Dungeon
good.
Fighter one about
Exactly,
to come out.
yeah.
Berserker comes out what, tomorrow? Friday?
Yeah. Listen,
know,
we need
The
more
Armored
Devil
Core,
May
the
Cry
Armored
lights.
Core clones.
Yeah.
I want Devil May Cry clones.
The
Just
GTA
give me that,
clones.
please.
You mean hack and slashes?
No, like more.
Now we're starting to turn into Souls likes, like even the hack and slashes.
Yeah.
Like at this
Yeah.
point, like I told you before, and I've said this, I stand on it. I'm not a fan of Souls likes. I do not want to punch myself in the nuts in order to try to figure out how to progress in the game. I do not like torturing myself to try to figure it
Unless
out. I
it's
don't
Elden
want to
don't want to
down
earn
the
it.
hallway and around the corner something comes smacking me in the face with a bat and I get punished for playing a game. I don't like that. But now it's at
You
a
gotta
point
earn it.
where when they give us a game trailer, I'm sitting up here looking at the game trailer the whole time like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
is this a hack and slash?
It's looking a
an
little
action adventure,
Souls-like.
or is it a Souls like? Like, how hard is this game going to be? Is this game going to punish me?
I wouldn't mind the Souls likes we have if they all didn't play the same. Yo, you tell me you can't come up with your own combo system? You have to just legitimately meet ride FromSoft's
If it
gameplay
ain't broke,
style?
don't fix it.
Fuck
Yeah, but
that.
the-
Nah,
yeah.
innovate.
No, but at the same time, go by that same logic. Why would I buy your game if I can just go play Dark Souls?
Yeah.
That's
What
I'm
makes it
saying, like,
stand out?
Because I
There's only a-
mean,
there's only a
what is
few
that?
Souls
Wukong
like
don't play like that.
Yeah, Wukong did not play like Dark Souls at all.
Exactly.
That,
like,
what is it? Lords of the Fallen game?
Oh yeah.
Great game. Great game. But it was buggy. Had some issues.
Yeah, Lies of
The-
P is
the
the best.
sequel is
Lies of
not
P is the
bad.
best Souls like by far, because it did take like its own it did take inspiration from Bloodborne a lot, but it made its own combat system with the pairing and the
Oh, Lies of P.
counterattacks, everything like that.
Wasn't Lies of P incredibly hard?
Nah, I'd say it's more approachable than some of the other ones.
Then what?
Okay, than some of the
Some
other
of the
Souls
ones
like
is
games.
hilarious.
Lies of P is dope.
Don't
I
ask
mean,
me.
it-
Don't
I-
ask me. I'm biased. I'm the Souls like person here. I'm biased. Don't ask me no questions.
Listen, if it ain't Elden Ring, I'm not touching the Souls.
Don't ask me no
That's
questions.
crazy.
You
That's
said
crazy.
not Elden Ring? What? Did you play Wukong?
Next
It
question.
wasn't Elden Ring. He didn't play Wukong.
Yeah, I play Wukong, man. Come on.
I've seen gameplay in person, not just online. Like one of my homies got it. I watched him play it. I'm not a Souls-like fan.
He said, "Keep that." Damn, bro.
Not a Souls-like
Jesus.
fan. You know, like I said,
It's like
if
not-
it ain't
he's like
Elden
not
Ring, and I had to get dragged on Elden Ring. Granted, after the Tree Sentinel, I fell in love with it. But Tree
I'm the-
Sentinel gets
I'm
everybody.
the only one that tortures myself with all
I
this.
mean,
I'm still at the guys.
I knew to run past the Tree
Sentinel.
Sentinel. I just thought that I could beat it the first time, so that was my problem.
And I got set up and was told, "Yeah, you could beat him. Yeah, go ahead."
It's like
And-
you can.
and get
It's
got
a matter of
stabbed and-
when.
yeah, me not
Yeah.
knowing any of the mechanics and not being a Souls-like player at all. Yeah, I
Okay,
You know
that's
what happened to me?
That's
Instead
my-
of going to the left, went to the right.
With the Caleb.
Yeah.
You ain't
Lots
supposed
of
to go
people
that way,
make
bro.
that mistake.
That is not the way you're supposed to go.
That is not where you want to. That is
That's
not
weird.
it at all.
Yep, learned that the hard way. Mhm.
I was like, "Ooh, I found Guts the sword. What the fuck is this giant bird? No, oh god,
Why is
no!"
that dog? Why is that dog 15 feet tall?
Yep. 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 So
Give us more DMC clones.
10 out of 10 will play again.
That's all I'm saying.
even Metal Gear clones, like, you know. But I also don't want us to get stuck on rose-colored glasses either. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like watching
Yeah.
rose-colored shades. Like we always can sit here and we can reminisce on like older games. But like if we were to sit down and play them now, we would definitely realize some of the holes in comparison to what some.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to do something about that for like a while now. Like either bring it up as a topic or do a video on that about like how a lot of stuff has not aged well gameplay wise.
1000%. Some of this stuff has not aged well at all.
I take
Listen.
people want to say to me, "Yo, you want to play GoldenEye Original 64?" as like an attack on me. It's like that. You don't act like this game is aged.
Because you know the first thing that they're gonna do is pick Odd Job, right?
Not even that. None of us gonna act like the controls in that game. Or
I
how
was
the
about
games
to
in that
say
game
that.
were have
Long
aged
E.
well. They have not.
As someone who has a PlayStation 2 hooked up right in front of him now, and who randomly decides that he wants to play PS2 games, it only lasts for like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
And
you
I
notice
get
that?
on
It's like,
them,
ooh,
I
this is
realize the
not-
controls are terrible.
That's why the most replay games,
And-
older systems, I feel like are platformers and RPGs
Yep.
Yeah.
because the
And
mechanics.
even
Yes,
then,
that
you
up.
still can't go back to Batman Forever.
Nope.
You can't go back to the Lion King. Like you might be able to go back to like Mega Man 2, Super Mario 3, but you can't go back to all of those games.
Yeah.
Remember them well, but you can't go back to them all.
I was playing Mega Man 4
Listen,
a week ago.
Don't play your favorite.
See, you
classic
say
love-
you
game.
Need for Speed Underground until you realize that Need for Speed Underground did not actually have a really good system.
It did not.
Let me tell you why Need for Speed Underground did not have an actual good system, because I'm a racing game fanatic. Okay. I played Need for Speed Underground and I ran through that entire game with a Miata. At the end
yeah,
of
that
the
was
game-
kind of broken.
At the end of the game, my boy had a Skyline and I had a Miata. He could not beat me in a drag race until I blew my engine because I didn't have sixth gear.
Yep, that was Ben. That was a friend Ben. His best car was literally a Miata. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go save up for the Skyline. I'm gonna kit it out. And it's like, why is it beat? Why are you beating me? Why? You have a Miata.
That was exactly the sentiment. And every time that we drag raced, he'd be like, ha, I got it now. I done tuned my car. I got you this time. And literally, when the race would start, mind you, the Skyline is supposed to kill him out off the line because it's all-wheel drive. Pew! Even if he started ahead of me, you would just see this little tiny car. And then the next thing you know, because the race is, coming to its climax, and my engine is going boom, and I lose
Dude
because
demolished my Supra. I was like, oh.
yeah.
I'm
And
in
I
a
probably
Supra.
could have gotten another car in order to kit it out and still win, but I didn't
But
want
for
to.
what?
Like, I had my Miata. And from there forward, I always started Need for Speed with the rinky-dinkiest little car that I could find. I was never picking the Civic. I would pick the AE86 over the Civic. Even though the 86 non-turbo, like the Civic had the SI and all that, I just wouldn't do it. I would pick the most underpowered car unless it was a Ford Focus. I'm never picking that shit. Don't give me that shit.
Listen, I'm a Sonic fanatic, but Sonic Adventure 1 does not age well.
Nah.
It's a gameplay.
On the Dreamcast?
Bro, when you go super fast on loop-de-loops, 9 times out of 10, you fall the fuck off. For some reason, the game don't register you going up a loop correctly, and it's just like, nah, throw you off the
Oh,
side.
just keep the stick pushed forward.
Yeah, that still ends up happening too.
I know I'm messing with you.
You know what we need to go back to Need for Speed? We need a Carbon 2. Because I love
Yeah.
Carbon.
Carbon was great.
Underground 2 would be nice as far as a remake or a remaster. Not even a remaster, just a remake.
Well,
So something
allegedly-
along the lines of Underground 2, because that actually brought in the levels of customization that we were looking
Listen.
for, as well as the mechanics of swapping out pieces in your car, and that was actually what, like, Underground started the upgrade system, but Underground 2 actually
Fully opened it.
made I don't want to say it perfected it, because it was never quite perfected, but Underground 2 actually lets you do interior and exterior and engine modifications and things of that nature.
You know who needs to come
rumor-
back with
Okay.
car games?
Well, the
Is
rumor
Midnight
is
Club.
that they're doing a Most Wanted remake.
I don't want that.
Allegedly.
I want
allegedly.
Midnight Club.
So all right, with Midnight Club,
Hmm.
and this is what I mean by the innovation of games. With Midnight Club, guess what happened? Midnight Club 3 happened.
No, that was the best one. Dub Edition
Oh.
was the best.
Oh, Dub Edition. I'm not meant whatever the one after Dub Edition. Midnight Club
LA?
LA happened.
LA.
Okay,
was the
so
worst.
here's the thing. LA wasn't the worst. LA was a great game. It just couldn't stand up to Dub Edition because Dub Edition took you across Detroit, Tokyo. Where else was it?
LA.
LA. It took you across 4 different places with the DLC, 4 different places. LA was a great game story-wise. It was just confined into a smaller setting with less cars, and people didn't like that.
You
They
know
were
what
at
I
a-
you know
And then,
what I
and then
remember
the,
Band-Aid
motor,
I
and then
didn't
the
help
motorcycle
either.
update was like lackluster.
Yeah.
You know what I remember about LA? It was kind of a drag. It was daytime. It didn't have the same soundtrack. It didn't have the same feeling. It was open world. They wanted you
Rubber
to
Band
explore
AI
and drive
sucked.
around. It didn't hit.
A Rubber Band in Midnight Club always was that.
No,
that-
but
no.
LA was egregious with it though. Like,
no.
if
Dub
you made
Edition
one
was
mistake in a
egregious.
race,
Shift
you
and Shift
lost.
2 did do a lot for Need for Speed. Yeah, I'll definitely say that.
Yeah.
You know,
It-
but Shift and Shift 2 did a lot for competitive Need for Speed. So it
Yeah.
did a lot to change that whole, we're gonna do kind of like a racetrack thing and give you the Gran Turismo feel, instead of being such an arcade racer, which is how we ended up with the last one that we got. What was
I want to
that?
say, are you talking about Pro Street?
No, Need for Speed Shift and Shift 2. I mean, there was still
Oh.
Pro Street too. Pro Street
Shift.
literally
Oh, God,
just
yeah, about Pro
was
Street.
only a track racer though. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
people
Shift and
hated it.
Shift 2 kind of gave you that vibe, but not as like strict as Pro Street.
And then
I do
there
not
was
remember
one
Shift
that
and
had
Shift
both of them. It was during the day you would race on the tracks, and at night you would race. You would do street races. I think it was Heat.
That's Heat.
That was Heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Unbound was the most recent one. The one.
And
with
that was the one where you're still kind of during the day still racing
Yeah.
on a circuit, but like at nighttime you are running from cops.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So I went and played Heat again after playing Unbound. I like Heat more.
Heat is better than Unbound.
I'm gonna tell you why. I know, Tone, you hate Heat because of the cops. Hear me out. Hear
I'm
me
gonna
out.
be
Hear
honest
me
with
out.
you.
Hear me out, Rajan.
The cops and Unbound and the cops
I'm
and
saying
Heat
I
are
like
the
I like Unbound more than Heat. That's why I was making the face. I was like,
I was gonna say
Unbound has everything above Heat in terms of like its style is dope, soundtrack dope, car list dope, customization dope as shit, city dope as shit too. The only problem, and this is where Heat is above Unbound, is the AI in Unbound is relentless. Like, I don't know who made the AI for the racers in that, but it's like they're pro racers that don't make mistakes.
So I can't
Ever.
100% confirm it, but I believe that it has like a drivetrain, like a learning AI to where it goes
It does.
based off of
What?
the races that like as people race the AI, like as a community as a whole race the AI gets better. It's the
Yeah.
same as Forza.
that's why in some races, even though like you fully spec your car out and whatever your B rank,
You're
A rank,
racing
S
against
rank, S
real
plus,
people technically.
it's like the game that still have them go fast to you, and then it's like I know my damn car is faster than yours. How
Bro,
are you
that's what
going
I'm
40
saying,
miles an
like-
hour faster than me? Now the AI, like that's why I think like I wouldn't fault people for lowering the difficulty Unbound because the AI was crazy in that game.
Yeah,
I don't
But-
get why they made the AI so ridiculous in that game.
it's
Like
the
y'all
same as
had
Forza.
everything going
Forza
for you.
has
The anime
the-
style was. First off, I hope the next Need for Speed has another anime style because that was great.
Half the people didn't like it.
Yeah,
What-
I'm a part of that half. I wasn't too
I
big
loved
of a
it.
fan of it,
I
only
like the fact
because
that you could turn
they
it off.
have like either you're gonna fully do it or you're not.
Yeah, and they
the
have
fact
committed.
that they have committed to it, it just
Yeah.
That is it. That's why I hate Heat. The traffic.
oh my god, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
fair enough.
yeah.
That's fair.
That's also
That's a fair criticism.
what's that game that got killed that shouldn't have got killed, but that we talked about before. Where you go across the entire United States.
Crew.
The crew.
The crew. That's why I hated the crew. One, the traffic was horrible.
horrible.
Because if I'm going 200 miles an hour, I'm sitting in a Ferrari and I'm just killing it. I'm racing across the entire United States and I'm murking. And like now I finally got in the lead, and all of a sudden the car comes out of nowhere and boom,
A family of four in a Kia Sorrento pops up in front of you.
race ruined.
You wouldn't mind it if it was Burnout.
Yes, I would. That's why I don't play Burnout. Never
Okay.
played Burnout.
I wouldn't mind if
played
it
it,
was
but I didn't enjoy
Burnout
it.
because the
Never-
whole point of Burnout was
Was to crash.
to
Yeah,
crash
I
and
didn't- I didn't
cause
care for it.
mayhem.
We're never gonna
Your
get another
burn-
Burnout. That's for sure.
Burnout meter goes up the more you hit
The
people.
last
so-
Burnout
I
game we got
literally,
was
I
the Need for
literally
Speed
did
Hot
not
Pursuit
care for
remake.
Burnout.
Yeah, last one we got was Paradise City.
No,
Paradise.
it was okay.
No, the last Burnout game we got was that Need for Speed Hot Pursuit remake.
Oh yeah, yeah, technically because it was made by Criterion.
Yeah, and it played like Burnout Revenge, which I
Yeah.
love.
I just
Without
you
the
know,
crashes.
When you're the cops, you're the cause races to crash.
Oh yeah, true. You right.
There you go. Most wanted limited edition. I mean, I probably still got some Need for Speed games over there.
Don't ask me why I have this.
That's not the real
PS3
Most
style
Wanted.
somewhere back there, but you know, it's just
That's the fake Most Wanted.
It
false
is.
most-
oh,
This
look
was
who
the
showed
one.
up,
Oh,
our
look at
guest
it.
star.
15 minutes. It's been an hour and 15 minutes.
Wow, our
So you
guest
look like you
star
just woke
appears,
up.
ladies and gentlemen.
Poking on full CPT time. Full CPT.
He did the who
That's
all gonna
crazy
be.
because
He
we
did the
can't
who
even
all
hear
gonna
him.
be
He
there
just
Nick
late.
pops
got
in.
fixed your mic, son.
His voice gone. He ain't got no mic.
He
Check
did
your
the who all
settings.
gonna be there late arrival. That's what he did.
Check your settings for your mic to make sure it's choosing your mic.
Yeah, remember it defaults to mic being off. So yeah, make sure-
Anyway,
Got
now
it.
it's time to get into
I
the
got
nitty
it.
gritty of we got you. Now it's time to get into the nitty gritty for today, though. So, all right, the whole title of our episode is it okay for a game to just be okay? So, like, here's the thing: Assassin's Creed Shadows has come out, and there's a lot of news, there's a lot of buzz, there's been all kinds of talk about this game for months. It's got delayed like 3 times. You know what I'm saying? The internet was just ablaze with all of the news about Assassin's Creed for the past like 6 months to almost a year. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to come out like 6 months ago. It got delayed until March 20th. And so as of this past Friday, we now have a new Assassin's Creed Shadows game that is set in Japan with a black samurai figure and, you know, a female kunoichi. Now, I will say this. There are some positives and there are some negatives. So in the 5 days that the game has come out, the game has already beaten the current player record on Steam for the entire franchise. It was at, I want to say, 66,000 concurrent players versus the 11,000 that the previous Assassin's Creed, that was the previous record. So, like, as far as concurrent players, it has beaten that record. And also, Ubisoft has confirmed that it's also outperforming Star Wars Outlaws. In 3 days, Assassin's Creed Shadows sold more copies physically than Star Wars Outlaws did in 3 months.
Damn.
That's saying a lot,
They're saying a lot,
honestly.
yeah.
Well, I don't really know if that's a metric that we go off of because we're not in a physical media environment much any longer.
True.
So
True,
like, I
but
really
that-
don't know.
I honestly feel like with that honestly does speak volumes because of the fact that we're not in a physical media environment. More people switching over to digital. So the fact that you have more people buying physical copies of a game more that outshine Star Wars, which is a franchise that's been around much longer
Yeah.
and has a
Yeah.
that only also has a religion behind it,
Yeah.
that says a lot.
It does.
Also considering toxic conversation around shadows and the active campaign
So I will
against
also
it.
say
Yes,
this.
Pat, he is black.
I will also say this: Ubisoft did confirm. This is confirmed at that same time period of 3 days that the game had sold more than 2 million copies across all platforms.
Good.
And while many people played the game, the reviewers praised it. They're giving it scores like 8, 8.5, 9. Some of the most common criticisms for the game is that the story is just okay. English voice acting is lackluster. I've watched a video where they literally tell you to play it with the Japanese voices and just read the subtitles because it helps with the horrible voice acting in English. I've seen things where like they'll say the story is like a 6.5, like the story is really just not good. I've seen videos where they say that as you're playing through the game, there are random bouts where you're just ripped out of the immersion and then you're put back in, like the immersion is just broken. Like they're giving the score of an 8.5, but these are some of the bad things. They said the world is beautiful, the game performs well, it's smooth, it looks great, it runs great, the combat is fun. But there's also like a really drastic difference between combat with the female and combat with the male.
Yeah,
You
one's a
know,
ninja and one's a
that was
The
samurai.
male, you're using a long katana and it's more of a action combat game, whereas with the female, it's stealth, it's ninja, it's what I'm saying? Like it's not like Ghost of Tsushima where you can do both. Like you literally have to choose one or the other to do one thing or another.
I
And
think,
then
but
there's
that's good though. That is honestly good because you're literally forcing people to realize that there is a clear definition between these two characters and
yes,
play styles in
but
general.
Or
if a
or you can
mission
be forced
needs one
people
thing
to-
or another, you have to do, and you're forced to do something opposite. That could be bad.
Oh yeah,
you
that's
can be also forcing longer gameplay onto it
That is
because
also
now you're
true.
forcing people
True.
to play the game 2 different times.
Absolutely.
right.
Because
That's-
they're also saying the
Yeah.
game is like 40 hours, but with completing everything, you're adding another 100 to it because the
Yeah.
world is so big. You can't like have the horse auto navigate to wherever you're going anymore. Like you literally have
You
to.
can.
I'm just again, I haven't played the game.
No, the Pathfinder thing doesn't go on the path for you. So the
Oh.
Yeah, you can't. It doesn't like follow road or something like that.
it gives you like a little indicator where to go, but you still gotta
Yes.
like, run it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
So these are things like they were.
Uh-oh.
That reviewer was saying like, I like to have my horse follow the road, follow the path, so I can look around and kind of enjoy the scenery. I've seen someone else say that the game is good, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's so big and there's so many things to do. There's so many tasks. But he just said, eventually, I realized that I was just kind of phoning it in. And he was like, at first I'm entertained and I'm like, oh, this is cool. But then eventually it's just like, oh, I'm playing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was like, he said it's kind of like a podcast game to him where you just kind of get tasks done, turn on a podcast and listen to the podcast while you're just going through the motions.
So it's something that you could just be
Any
locked
game
in.
then, I guess.
Okay, so I don't agree with that because
I
there are
don't either.
games
I
there
don't
are
either.
games that you get immersed into where
Correct.
it's just like you don't even realize how much time has passed. You've been playing the game so long, you've been
Facts.
sucked into the story, you love it so much. And then there are games that's just like, let me play this to pass some time. Let me
Right.
play this because I'm bored. I don't have anything.
Do you
else to
ever
do.
feel like you're just going through the motions with Monster Hunter?
No.
No. You feel like you're concentrating. He was saying that this is not a game where you feel like you're concentrating. You're literally just like your brain is
Doing
naturally just going through the motions, and you're wanting to put your attention somewhere else.
Tasks pop up on the corner of the screen. Check mark pops up on the map. Go there. Do what you gotta do. Next, you're not you're not
immersed.
enthralled
You're not-
into the
yeah.
game. Yeah, you're just playing because it's a
You're
game.
not trying to do anything. You're just doing stuff.
That's not my experience with the game, but
I
Again,
haven't played it.
these
Yeah,
are
me
just
neither.
different experiences that I'm telling
that's
you
a
from.
weird. That's a weird ass. That's a weird ass response. Weird. as
These are
fuck.
just different experiences that I'm telling you that
Yeah.
I've gotten from different reviewers.
That's fucking weird.
Look,
Is
you
it
can
though?
say that.
You've
and
never
I
played a
can-
game
To
where
me,
you just
it
kind
is.
of
It's like it's
like
not like
when you if you play phone games, when you play your phone games, you're not immersed. You get a little burst of something and then you keep it moving.
Mhm.
Like, but when
DC
Ryzen plays
Legion.
League, you know, all you
Yeah.
hear is click, 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 click. What you doing over there, Ryzen?
PvP
Playing League?
game.
Playing League? I'm just saying.
I got a stun on the hose.
Excuse me.
There are games where you just like, and I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to turn your brain off and do the tasks, because sometimes that can be relaxing.
Right.
Pal World has become
Power
that
Wash
game.
Simulator.
I play Pal World now
Yeah.
just to
Uh,
complete certain
yeah.
tasks, just to
Yeah.
do certain
I don't know. I
things.
just
Yeah.
I get
facts.
what the reviewers saying. I'm like I put like what 13 and a half hours in the game so far, and like I said, everyone's experience can be different, but I don't understand how you can kind of zone out with that in Assassin's Creed when there's things to be doing, like going in, like sneaking and assassinating certain targets, going to these puzzle caves and stuff like that. Like, I'm not saying the game is not like
Design like that.
not designed like that, but like if you're just going through the motions and like playing the game and the main story, I don't feel like that's a game that you're just like, oh, I'm just like killing time, like I'm just trying to get through it. Like the story's fairly interesting and
So
the
are
combat's fun.
mechanics fun? I
Yeah.
was just I was
Yeah, like
honest.
I mean, again, he said the game is fun. It's just that maybe it's side quests and again side tasks, just kind of
I will say there is side quest fatigue in a lot of these games sometimes, but like
again open world games do the same
lot of-
thing to me. Like
Yeah.
eventually, it feels like I'm just doing things because they're
Yeah.
there, rather than following the story, and
just so weird.
because they pop them up right next to me.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
like it's,
where open world games kind of get taken away from me a little bit.
yeah,
I
because like
didn't
with open
mind-
world games. Oh, go ahead, hustle.
This I didn't mind veering off like the path I'm already on to find like side stuff. I actually actively started seeking out that because the world is so nice looking and how everything interacts and the weather system and all that shit. It makes it enjoyable to go explore stuff in this game.
Hmm.
It's a lot to
So
explore.
to me, it's again, that's their experience. This is mine.
Absolutely. These are
Right.
and again, these are different people. So one person
Yeah.
said this, one person said, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody is saying that it's just a phone it in type of game. Like
Right.
one person praised all of that, but then said that the story was just a little lackluster for them. You know what I'm saying? Another person said this, another person said, I'm just going over the different details that we're hearing so that you can hear how different everything is. With all of that being said, we're getting reviews of 8.5. That says the game is good, but then we hear the game is okay. It's okay. Is it okay for a game to be okay? Does a game have to be a 9? Does it have to be 10? Does it have to be 8? Can
I feel
a
like
7 or
everyone
a
here-
7.5 be okay?
I feel like everyone here agrees that a game could be okay. The problem is how review scores and other stuff have like corrupted
Skewed.
people's brains about what is an okay game and what isn't an okay game. Like there's a lot of games where people say like that game is bad. Like why? Because they got a 6.5. But then I'll play it's like I'm trying to think of a good example of a game that got rated like a 6, and I like
Anthem?
loved it.
Anthem.
No
I
man.
mean,
know
Nah.
if Anthem got a 6.
That deserved getting a 6.
But
Right.
I'm just saying, Anthem
Yeah.
was okay.
Didn't
Oh.
God Hand get a low
But-
score?
Now it has a track record of being one of the worst games in history.
Okay, I got kind of a bad example. My favorite PlayStation 4 game to this day of all time is Fallout 4. Now, I call it a bad example because Fallout 4 won a lot of awards when it came out. But overall, like
buggy.
if you ask people, it's a
It was
bad game.
buggy.
Buggy. People don't like the story because
You
it's
know why I
kind of
stopped
the
playing
same as
Fallout?
3. Why?
I was crossing the bridge and I fell in a crack.
Bethesda.
I could not get out. And every time that I tried to restore my game, I was in the crack.
That was like my first.
That's
uh,
Bethesda for you.
Ah, that
my,
makes
first
sense.
my first 20 minutes of Cyberpunk.
Stuck.
But
Done.
Fallout
Couldn't do
4
anything.
is still to this day my favorite PlayStation 4 game all time. I platinum that game. Like I've done everything there is to do in Fallout 4. Like, and I can still go back to that game and have immense fun.
Yeah.
Just doing random stuff. I'm a raider.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so all right. So over the years, Assassin's Creed has changed a few times, right? What up? What up, Blicky? How you doing over there, Blicky? You know,
What up,
you could
Blicky?
be a guest star too. Like Token just shows up right now, so you know, he's
Yeah,
over here
Token be on
making guest
CPT, so
appearances and stuff. Like he's King Token. Anyway,
I'm
so
dead
like I
now.
was saying, Assassin's Creed changed a few times over the year. Which style of the game do you like the most? Like a lot of people will be like, "Oh, Black Flag was my favorite," but is Black Flag considered old style or new style Assassin's Creed at this point?
that's
Old
old
style.
style.
Old style.
It is old style, but you also had that wide open sea adventure, that
It was-
open
it
world
was-
style.
all the games
mean, that's-
gave you a
that's
lot
It's
of
a
stuff.
bridge.
Even the first
it's kind
game,
of a bridge.
even the first game had
Like a
Literally,
transition.
giant
Black Flag
world
was the bridge between
Yeah.
two,
But
between the two different styles of game.
Syndicate came out after Black Flag. And
Yes,
Syndicate is still
old style.
old style.
Yeah. Syndicate, Unity.
Oh wait, yeah.
I played the crap
Rogue.
out of those.
Yeah.
Syndicate was the old style. Unity's more the new style because
Syndicate was the last of the
Unity
old.
had the gear system, didn't it?
no.
But I thought Unity did have a gear system.
Are you thinking of Origins? Because Unity's the French one that came out before Syndicate.
Yeah, Unity was the
Yeah.
one
No,
with the
yeah,
with,
the
the,
French
with the
one.
twins.
No,
Unity
No,
was the one with the
Syndicate
weird
was- That's Syndicate.
online.
Oh no, okay.
Syndicate was the Frey twins.
Unity's the French
You said
one.
Syndicate was the French ones?
Frey.
The
It's like
Frey
Frey.
twins.
Oh, the
EV and,
twins,
was
okay.
twins.
Jacob and
Oh, then
Eve.
that means that so which one was so that means that Syndicate was the one
Right before
in France.
No, Syndicate, London, Unity, France during the French
Right.
Revolution.
But Unity was the one where you could have the crew and it had online play for
Yeah,
a little while.
Unity
yeah.
had the
The funny online.
four-player
Yeah.
co-op.
Yes.
But
Like
that's
the
what I'm saying,
Setsuna, like the Setsuna started like in Brotherhood Revelations a little bit and then expanded on in like Unity and whatnot.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, but what I'm
Okay,
saying is-
see, that's all Token's fault, and he already said that. So
Wait,
I'm
what?
still blaming it on him. Him being late is
Take
on
your
him.
time, Mr.
That's his fault. That's his problem.
I did actually. I owned up to that. That I did this. This is my
And I
fault.
warned you about it ahead of time.
You did.
Your
You did.
fault.
You definitely did. And I fell for it because I
Mhm.
fell for the cuteness.
Mm-hmm.
I fell for the cuteness.
It be like that. Don't feel
Mhm.
bad, Token.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad.
Yeah. Now I gotta break it. Now I gotta break it. I've caused this issue, and now I have to fix it.
So which style do you guys prefer the most?
I prefer the original. Honestly, the first Assassin's Creed was the first game I got for my PlayStation 3 when I first
Same.
got it.
Same.
I got that in Skate, the original Skate game, and I beat Assassin's Creed in a week. I
I
stayed
got
in
Assassin's
my
Creed
room
and Need for Speed.
and I beat that, and my mother was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "You got me this, so this is what I'm doing." So yeah. And I've been in love with the original since. I think up until Black Flag might have been like the last one I played consecutively. Then I played Syndicate like a couple years after it came out. Yeah, I played the newer ones, and they just don't. I don't know. Not my cup of tea.
What about you, Hustle? Because I have to admit, I wanted to be a Spartan and kick people off of things. That was the whole reason I even purchased that Assassin's Creed game. I'm gonna be honest. I never played Origins. I didn't play Valhalla, but I had to be a Spartan.
Valhalla was, in my opinion, the
Hmm?
worst. Valhalla was the worst of that style.
Really?
The newer style with the gear progressions and the more RPG
Explain,
style.
please. I'm definitely interested in hearing.
Valhalla has so much bloat in it.
Yeah, storyline and like side quest stuff. Like
Storyline, side quest wise, there's like roadblocks that stop you from progressing because you're not at the right gear levels and all that other
yeah,
stuff.
so then you
It's
have to go
like-
grind other random areas that you didn't want to go to yet. It's like because you can't hurt anything because like the gear level disparity. Like, oh, you're in this area. Oh, you did this part of the story. Cool. You should be like 42. You having 70 for this next part. It's like that's quite a jump.
Mhm.
Like where are you expecting me to get this experience from? If I did the story, they're like figure it out. And it's like cool. It's like
And its combat is more. It's more Souls-like because there's a stamina system in it. Why is there a stamina system when I'm fighting somebody in this game?
yeah, Valhalla definitely had the weirdest. Like it was the.
I mean, if you was swinging a sword around, wouldn't you get tired?
So I
like, well, the combat system of Valhalla is weird just because of like it had you got the weird spammy like abilities you could do. Like basically you got to a certain point where it's like I don't know why this is called an Assassin's Creed game because you're
Not
not
assassin.
an assassin at all. Cool, you got a hidden blade. That's about it. But you're just going and raiding towns and churches and everything like that. Like
I
Burn
gotta
it to the ground.
counter the chat real quick. Black Flag wasn't the best. I'm a Ezio stan, and Brotherhood was the best.
they're
But, you know,
yeah, they're interchangeable. It's
Oh,
like
oh.
that.
It took
I'll,
me.
I'll sit to the back for that one.
It took me. Like 3 years to beat that trilogy. I struggled.
Mm.
I struggled.
I mean,
I
like,
mean, damn.
I think Shadows did a good job by having the assassin.
Is that your favorite?
Samurai play? My favorite? I don't know. I'm not done. I'm still playing through it. I'm still early in it, so I can't say it.
I mean, I want like let me.
I'm
kinda
heavily enjoying it though.
I kind of
Let me
prefer the new
explain.
style because I loved Odyssey, man. Like
I
thought that was
want
great.
to get
Odyssey.
Shadows.
I loved Origins.
As a matter of fact, I will eventually get Shadows. It's just that right now, I'm still not to a point where I can play games yet.
I recommend. Me personally, I recommend it. Okay, I'm gonna say this. If
Yeah,
You
Black
don't-
Flag did have sea shanties, but
Sure.
Odyssey also kinda had sea shanties too.
I can't believe
Sea-
you.
The sea shanties is, if I'm gonna be honest with you, like sea shanties sells Black Flag for me.
This man said sea shanties are
that
the,
and boarding ships
are
was fun
the
as hell.
crux. Are
I'm
the
sorry.
crux.
Boarding ships was like
Literally,
Ugh,
that is why
Pete.
they made whatever the name of that stupid game is that they made. That's supposed to be the
Skull and
control
Bones.
leg. Yeah, there you go, Skull and Bones.
Um,
that was the basis of it, and then they were just like, nah,
Well-
throw that out.
So a little fact about me, I'm not the biggest fan of pirates, but yes, if they would have just made Black Flag like focus more on that instead of putting out Skull and Bones, you know.
Well, they had that. The original bill was supposed to just
Was
be
the
based off
yeah.
of Black Flag, and then the team threw
Got
that out,
too ambitious.
and it was like, nah, get rid of it and start and make a new and make an entirely new system. It's like, bro, you had the perfect system right there.
Yep.
You didn't need.
I plan on
anything
getting
else.
Shadows though, by the way. Just so you
Wait, what?
I said I plan on getting Shadows. I plan
Yeah.
on playing.
I
through
re-
it, like,
If you like, I'm gonna say this: if you don't like the Origins Odyssey style Assassin's Creed, you're not gonna like this. They're not
So,
going to, because it is
I
literally
won't-
it is the same style of
I won't
Odyssey and
lie
Origins.
and say I'm gonna.
But I like
You
get it.
like
Japan.
that? You'll like it.
I like
I
I
will.
like the Odyssey. It just
Like Goji probably won't like Shadows because it plays like Origins and Odyssey.
well,
I'll
like I said,
get
I
it
like
when it comes
Odyssey.
free
It
on
just
Epic.
it dragged on too long. Every time that I thought I was about to finish Odyssey, they hit me with another curve to do more. I'm like,
This doesn't feel like that though. At least for me, it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah,
Like,
the
I
story,
literally
the story feels like
pigeonholed the story and was just like, oh no, like it was like, all right, find your father. I found him. Story's not over.
Nah,
How
I
does
feel,
this-
I feel like
Okay.
the story is like streamlined pretty well so far in Shadow.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you recommend Shadow for full price?
Yeah.
I mean,
My
I think,
opinion,
I
too,
think so
you're
far it's worth it. Like me and him both bought it full price, so I can't say no because I bought it. But I'm also just a
You
big
could say no if it's not good.
yeah. But
You
I'm
could say no.
well,
I bought some games full price that I wouldn't recommend full
I
price.
know. I think it's full
Hey,
price,
listen,
but I
bought
I'm
No
not gonna
Man's
say
Sky the
that.
day
I'm
it
not gonna
came
say it
out.
for everyone though. Not everyone likes the game.
Yeah.
I would
Me
never.
personally, because I know a lot of people like to throw the comparisons between this and like Ghost of Tsushima, which please don't compare the two. The only thing that's similar to Ghost of Tsushima is the fact it's in Japan during the feudal era. That's where the comparisons begin and end.
Trisha said from history, each pirate had their own flags and the colors meant different things. Oh, that's a good thing too.
Oh,
Not
hey
everybody just-
Trisha.
Pirates out here gangbanging. That's cool.
Hey Trisha.
Exactly.
I
Love
mean,
you.
essentially, they were the original gang because how do you determine what is, you know what I mean, like my crew versus your crew? Because originally pirates were supposed to be what, Nordic?
Viking means pirate.
Norse. Sorry, not Norse.
Vi-
Not
yeah,
Nordic.
Viking literally means pirate
Yes.
in Nordic.
Yeah. So, I mean, I completely get it. I understand. So,
Which for some reason people don't know. that
determining what
pirate.
crew or what clan was what, you know, because obviously they had their own histories, but they were nomadic. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely, thank you, Trisha. So
Yes, I recommend it at full price. If you like that style, if you like the RPG, the more RPG style of Assassin's Creed, or if you just want to play like feudal Japan, Sengoku era games, I would highly recommend that too.
Ralph
because
said Vikings are pirates and Uggs.
What?
they're not wrong.
Wait,
They're just Vikings in the cold. I mean, they're just pirates in the cold.
bro. Wait. Yeah, that was
Not
a good one.
wrong.
That was a good one though. That was a
That's
good one.
crazy.
Somebody
That's
clipped
crazy.
that. Somebody clipped that. That's fucking amazing.
That's crazy.
And I think, and also, I think the reason why the voice acting, I guess, sounds weird is because a lot of the voice actors are actually native Japanese speakers who are speaking English.
No, I just said it didn't have the same feeling as it did in Japanese.
I mean, I guess because that's their native language.
I was gonna say the same thing because let's be honest. If
So
I'm
in
if
vid-
I'm listening to them speaking their native language, it makes a much better impact than
Yep.
them
They said
trying
it
to
was
translate.
flat and it wasn't immersive and it could break you from.
So I
Yeah, like I'm
get
pretty sure
that.
Hiroyuki Sanada sounds like more intense
Flat.
in Japanese than he does speaking English.
I
Yeah,
get that, but in video games, I kind of feel like that shouldn't matter. I feel like with video games, you should be able to like it's different if you're trying to translate something over, but
mhm.
if you're literally you're making a video game to where you've already created this script, like just get somebody who can read it in English in a way that makes it sound good and believable. Again, I haven't played the game, so I haven't heard it. I don't, but I just feel like I'm someone who, well, throwback game. It ain't really a throwback, but I played Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And by default, the characters are all in English. And
Mhm.
you don't really like, I don't really mind it, but I like the automatic, like, Capcom characters, I like to have them in Japanese if they speak in Japanese. But I'm not put off by the English voice actors in that game. And I just feel like it's a thing to where like this is a video game. Like I said, it's not like you're translating a movie from
Yeah.
Japanese to
True.
English or something. You know what I mean, this is
True.
something to where I feel like you can hire a voice actor who can do a good enough job in English.
Especially since
I
the voice
appreciate
actor
you
literally
using
has to get
Japanese-
script the lines for an
Yeah.
animated face. Like they're scripting lines for an animated face, not
Yeah.
they're not literally acting on a screen and then having to
to
you
read
know
someone's
They don't
act,
have to
like
convey
to
that
go off of
emotion or
somebody.
anything like
yeah
that.
yeah.
I
So I
appreciate
I
them.
agree with him. I agree with him. I agree with
But
I
him.
like I said,
appreciate
I
them
haven't
getting
played
Japanese
it,
actors.
so I don't
Yeah, like I'm
know
not judging
how-
the game based off of that. These
Yeah.
are just again, things that I've heard, and actually not just one person has said it. It's like it's been multiple people who have said these things. So that's why I say
I ain't
this
gonna
is-
hold you. I ain't watched no reviews. I didn't listen to not a damn thing before I bought it. I was like, I'm
because
going
I
to
didn't have the game and I needed to have some
Yeah.
form of knowledge. I had to.
Yeah, which is fine. It's understandable.
So as someone who didn't plan on buying it at all, that's usually when I watch reviews and stuff for game. When I don't plan on buying it or it's not a game that's on my radar, I'll watch a review that if I hear a good review, it might make me want to buy it on discount or something. But it was one of those games where I didn't plan on buying it. So yeah, I've seen a couple reviews and things, and I've heard some good things about it. I haven't heard anything too completely negative, but again, I'm not a fan of this style of Assassin's Creed. So
That's what I'm
I
saying.
was
I
already
think if you're not a fan of that style, it might not be for you. But I don't know. It might be the first one of that style that like
but like I said, listen, I got I got what is it? Origins
cool
and
with.
Valhalla. I got those.
Valhalla.
Epic randomly dropped them on. Epic be having their free games. Epic randomly dropped, so I got them both on Epic. Haven't played them yet, but I got games to play just in case. So
In my opinion, skip Valhalla. But you might like Valhalla. So you know what?
It depends on if you like Vikings versus if you like.
Yeah.
I mean, like Origins, I always wanted to get because it's in Africa.
Yeah. No,
You know what I'm saying? It's in Egypt. And so like I love the Egyptian, and the Assassin's Creed tend to go into that they tend to go into the supernatural towards the end sometimes.
yeah.
So that's kind of where it flows for me.
Yeah, people
But,
complain about historical accuracy. Motherfucker, since game one, we had aliens. I don't want to hear none of that stuff. Like, we have aliens.
Yo, I'll never understand why so many I just gotta rant about this real quick because he brought it up. I understand why so many people that were trying to have this game fail before it came out just latched on to that point. It's like they say the game's historically accurate. They have never once said that about AZ8. They say you'll see historical figures and you'll see key moments of history with a little bit, some pretty wide ass brushstrokes over some key details.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. In one of the games. Like, what are you talking
Right?
Like,
Yeah. Remember in the history books when the Pope fought an assassin and he used a magical fucking alien
Staff.
apple that mind controls people in the fight? Remember that? Oh, wait. That doesn't exist.
people for some reason were trying to say that well, it's not historically accurate. Look at how much pissed off Japan is because it's not historically accurate. It's like these games have never been historically accurate.
Right.
They're just key moments in history with some characters added.
I think what really tilted everything in that direction was that they made one of the main characters a real figure in history.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about
whereas
Black Samurai?
in even in Assassin's Creed 2, so there's Ezio or whatever, but you get cameos from people like Leonardo da Vinci. Like they're not the main character.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even though the main bad guys were Rodrigo Borgia.
They had Leonardo da Vinci,
who's a real person,
inventing assassin tools, and nobody complained.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, brother, we fight the Pope.
Let's also not forget that DLC for Assassin's Creed 3 where George Washington becomes the evil king.
Oh yeah!
I didn't play Assassin's Creed 3. That was the one that I wanted
Evil
to play.
King George Washington.
It's like, but this games
Oh.
are historically accurate.
Hold on now.
Look, listen.
I'm telling you, that was my favorite.
Listen.
I know that we're in America, but hear me out.
What?
Hear me out.
Oh boy, here we go.
I don't know. I don't know about this.
Here we go.
Was George Washington not the evil king?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not
I
Yes.
would say he is evil, but there was a
not
legitimate evil
king.
they was
No,
fighting.
evil. Yes. We about to get canceled. All get canceled, bro.
Absolutely.
Wait. If we gonna
Like,
get
that is
canceled, I'm gonna go
like,
ahead and
out
say
of
what I want
everything
to
we said,
say.
that's like the most cancel-worthy fucking thing we could have
It
ever
is.
said.
And he
I'm
told
just
us in the
saying.
answering. He told us in the answering. We willingly did so. Like he usually does. He gets us the answer.
I'm just saying.
All men are created equal, except for you darkies.
Doc.
Like, am I wrong?
All men are created equal, except you. And you. And you.
Except you, Jamal.
Actually, a lot of y'all just slide over there. All right. Y'all are created equal.
You can't get mad at me for a joke Dave Chappelle made.
I know.
I ain't mad at you.
Darkness, brothers.
Ain't mad at you, not even a little bit. I'm just saying.
Shouldn't have never gave you money.
Hey. Facts.
Oh God. Hey, but I ain't gonna lie. Honestly, people who thought that the Assassin's Creed video game franchise were like historically accurate, to me, honestly, sound like the same people who thought that National Treasure with Nicolas Cage was also historically accurate.
Yeah, right.
What?
It
You
wasn't.
say, was it?
You mean that and Indiana Jones aren't real? You mean Indiana Jones?
Next thing you tell
Ryan
me,
Reynolds didn't really rob a bank.
next thing you tell me Star Wars is a bunch of bullshit.
Tomb Raider wasn't real. I mean, well,
That's insane. That's insane.
We're not
Wait,
about
why
to
you-
walk into the realm
I
of
got
controversy,
lied.
Token.
About National Treasure. You mean Nicolas
Tomb
Cage?
Raiders. Tomb
Didn't steal the
Raiders were
Declaration of
real.
Independence?
I will say that. Tomb Raiders were a real thing, and they were
Oh,
getting
that is very
getting
true.
busy.
Tomb Raiders were a real thing.
Yeah, they were getting busy, boy.
In fact, do you
Most
know
of your
why
museum is from Tomb Raiders. I'm just saying.
Actually, do you know why we don't have a lot of? Since we were talking about origins,
Mm-hmm.
do you know why there aren't a lot of intact mummies today?
Right. Tell them.
You know,
Tell them.
because people ate them. People went into those tombs and actually ate those mummies. That's why we don't have a lot of intact mummies.
Yeah.
You can go look it up. This is true. People legitimately ate mummies.
Yeah.
That's one of the most that is like the most disrespectful thing ever.
What if they tasted good though?
Knew that was coming.
Oh,
Saw them all
no.
the way.
I'm
Wait,
just
what
saying,
happened?
what if they did?
Wait,
I gotta know
wait.
too. Like, how sick do you think they got from eating literally 1,000-year-old
Jerky?
dead bodies?
That man
Yeah.
said 1,000-year-old beef jerky is
Have you ever had
diabolical.
1,000-year-old beef jerky? I don't think
That's
so.
diabolical. Yo.
I mean, that's kind of what they look like when they open up.
That is true.
I'm just saying, maybe someone couldn't control themselves. They were real hungry and be like, yo, that looks
I
like
want
a
his
teriyaki.
power. Let me.
That looks like a
eat it.
teriyaki stick. I mean, I'll try it, whatever.
I mean, that part actually would convince me that somebody would do that. Somebody who would raid a tomb thinking that they could consume a mummy because they wanted their power.
No, that is true. Some
Yeah,
people
that-
legitimately did do
yeah.
that.
All right, real quick. If you could take your favorite Assassin's Creed game and the things that you liked about it and combine it with another Assassin's Creed game, what two games would they be? What would you take and what two games?
Black Flag and
I would take the Combat of Shadows and put it in Assassin's Creed 2.
And put it in what?
Assassin's Creed 2.
Okay.
Yeah, combat is
Yeah,
pretty
the only
tight.
thing that's annoying about the first two Assassin's Creed games is the combat is like very bare bones. Is like not like it's not like really fun. It's not even rock paper.
You don't
scissors.
want to get in a fight.
It's like riposte, stab, riposte, stab, riposte, stab. Like it was like rinse, repeat over and over again.
Response stab.
That's
Yeah,
what
Shadows
it was.
gives you a lot of opportunity to mix
Response
things up.
stab. Response stab.
There's a lot of crazy shit you can do in Shadows.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about you, Hustle?
Shadows.
What's your favorite? If Shadows is not your
No,
favorite,
no.
so like you're taking something from a different game and you're putting it into your favorite Assassin's Creed.
I would take the combat of Shadows and put it in 4.
You know what?
Black Flag. I'd take the combat from Shadows, put it in. Actually, no. Stealth. Can I take 2 things, or just one? Combat and stealth mechanics of Shadows, and I put it in 1 because Shadows
okay.
has the best, in my opinion, the best stealth mechanics of all the Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, they actually incorporate using like light and shadows, like in the actual like stealthing around and stuff like that, which the other games don't do. And I was like, oh, look at that stuff that would have made sense years ago, but we're just finally getting to it.
Yeah, you can lie prone. Like you can lie prone in grass and lure somebody over and just stab them. It makes it. They give you a lot of opportunities to be able to hide.
Yeah. Also, like if it's like you're doing a mission at night and you like extinguish the candle around you can actually sit up against the wall like complete in pitch black, so people can't see you. When somebody walks by and then be like, boom, like right there. Like you can actually sit in like pitch black darkness in the shadows and actually use it versus like other games where it'll be like it's supposed to be pitch black at night, but it's like, oh, I can still see you. I'm like, how?
Yeah. They literally count for the NPC's vision in the light as a core part of the gameplay.
That is astounding.
That's why I don't like this comparison of Ghost of Tsushima to Shadows, because they don't.
I do not compare the two.
I know, but some people are making that comparison. It's like, no, the stealth in the ninja gameplay in Shadows is leagues above what it is in Ghost of Tsushima. Like Ghost of Tsushima, I feel is still samurai game first with ninja elements placed into it. If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Because he was a Ronin. He wasn't a ninja.
Exactly. He wasn't really a ninja. But in this, you have someone who's you have someone who's legitimately a ninja, who has a ninja clan. Like, and it takes place in legitimately she's from the city that historically ninjas were first created in. And she's part of a clan there and all that stuff.
She was a Koga?
No, what is the name of the Iga? Iga's the city.
Yeah.
Iga's the town. I don't remember what
they were. Iga ninjas. That was the name of them. Kogas and Igas were some of the first and original clans.
Or Egans, as they are called. Yeah, but yeah. So the ninja gameplay is way more in depth than it is,
which we honestly hope for.
Which I expected, because it is an Assassin's Creed game. It's very much you are playing an assassin. As
if you can't assassinate and be a ninja, then why are we playing this?
Exactly. Right. One of my favorite things that you can do is, the I forgot what the doors are called. The thin shuji doors or shoji, the doors that are usually in Japan houses. If you have your katana equipped, you can stab people through that.
Mm-hmm.
And it is
amazing.
Heard
that they did patch out one thing. They patched out something that the Japanese culture would be considered disrespectful, and that's being able to go into certain shrines and temples and break certain things.
Yeah,
that was like a day one patch, but I'm fine with stuff like that.
That was because they were afraid that people were going to do that in real life, but people have been doing that for decades in Japan. Like,
yeah, but like I said, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that too. Frankly, that wasn't even my thought process to do that, which is that wasn't my thought process to do that.
I know, right? Big ups to Goji Senpai. I'm sorry, the chat was giving you kudos, bro.
Definitely.
That wasn't my thought process of like, I want to go to face the temple.
No, I'm just saying.
Weird.
It's something that could happen. So
I get them doing that as a precaution, though. So that makes sense.
So let me ask another question. Do you think that Assassin's Creed needs to be more focused? Does it need to be more? Does it need to retain this open world style going forward, Does it need to be more focused? Does it need to combine the two? What does Assassin's Creed need less bloat? Does it need to be smaller?
I would
Going
say Assassin's Creed, whatever the next one is, wouldn't take any negative hits if it went more the style that the God of War's in. Streamlined, but still plenty of things go out and collect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I'm fine
feel-
with that.
yeah.
That would actually probably still have me. That would actually probably get me to play it faster than whatever they have going on. You know what I'm saying? Like Valhalla, I never really wanted to get into because the way that Hustle said that it was just so big and so just
much.
everything was just useless and just loaded. Like I didn't want to do it.
I think I wouldn't mind it if the combat was much better. I hate the combat in Valhalla.
But you like the combat in Shadows.
Yeah, there's no stamina system. There's a posture system. Like you can break people's posture when you're fighting them.
Like
All that you
in-
can
like
deflect
in
and
Resident
parry
Evil?
and dodge. Yeah. But like that's kind of where it is. You can dodge, you can parry, break their posture by charging up your attacks and all that stuff. So
With your giant bat.
If you're
I haven't
playing
gotten
Yasuke,
to
yeah.
Yasuke yet.
I was
I'm
being
still playing-
funny.
I'm still playing.
It's that Kanabo.
Naue. But Naue has other. Naue uses weapons that he can't use though. So she
Like a
doesn't have-
Kusarigama.
Yeah, for her, you get Sarigama,
And a
Tantos,
Tanto.
or Katanas.
Yeah, she uses a katana and a Kusarigama and a. You sure it's a Tanto?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Tanto.
it's a Tanto.
The really short one.
Yep.
Not the Wakizashi.
No, it's Tanto.
Okay.
Yeah, she actually gets like faster like combos with them and shit like that too.
Okay.
And that's supposed to be more armor piercing, if I remember correctly, too. The
Yeah,
Tanto.
it gets through the small.
If you have the Tanto equipped, you can actually. That's how you double assassinate, because she'll have the Tanto in one hand, and then she'll have her
She still
her
have the
hidden
wrist
blade.
Yeah,
'cause
she's
her hidden
Tanto
blade
one,
can
Tanto one
rotate.
hand, hidden blade the other hand for double assassination.
Okay.
Yo,
No,
but
actually-
some of her finishing moves when you like are using the Tanto though, because you'll just go like ape shit like 20 stabs before they go down. I'm like, oh, like I don't know if Hustle heard me though. Like the first time I pulled them, I was like, damn. I was like, "Jeez."
Oh yeah.
It's like,
The way they react, this is like, yo, that is. Oh. I love it.
yeah, it's so far so good. That's all I
Yeah.
can say about it.
I'm happy with it.
I mean,
Okay.
y'all are giving good reviews. I might have to check it out.
That's what I'm
You love
saying. Like
ninjas.
I
You love
planned on
ninjas?
getting the game anyway, but like even just hearing this, like sure, I want to pet. Wish I could dodge and parry these bills is hilarious. Let me stop
No.
my sentence to
Facts.
make sure I read that one out loud. because
Facts.
That one was hilarious.
Who don't? Like,
Yes, I wish I could dodge and parry these bills too.
Yup.
And-
We're all
and-
right there with you.
Maybe. But yeah, I plan on getting it. I want to get it. I probably will get it. I still
Okay.
need more. I need to free up some more time so far. Like Monster Hunter, still I haven't gotten an opportunity. I haven't caught up on regular life yet. So that's why I haven't purchased it. By the time I
It's
grab
sick
it,
as
it's probably
hell.
gonna be on sale at some point. Yes. I was out for a week, bro. Like literally, I was running fevers for like a week. Like fevers. Like I just could not function. I'm still
wild,
at a
Rodney
point
got sick.
where I'm randomly falling asleep. I'm surprised I'm not like I wasn't pulling a token. Like, cause token last week just
Bro, come on now.
even though he didn't, I'm sorry, not last week, but a couple of weeks ago, even though he didn't even know that he was falling asleep and he didn't think that I
I
saw him,
didn't.
but
Oh
I was gonna
yeah.
call him out.
I
Yeah.
remember
He was
that.
like, I wasn't falling asleep. Why you ain't call me out? I did at the end, but you were. And I will roll back the tape so that you can see it. So go to this point
It ain't even
and
registered,
watch
dog.
this. And he was like, yo, that's crazy. I was like, yeah, you were nodding.
Yeah,
in
you
the
didn't
mood,
notice
sir.
that?
Yes, sir. You were
Passing out
nodding in
there,
the-
buddy.
So, what's the longest time it's taken you to play an Assassin's Creed game?
Valhalla.
Like to beat one?
Yes.
Yeah, Valhalla. That's
How
I
long did it
usually-
take you?
to
Valhalla?
finish both storylines because there's 2 you got to do in the game. I think I can go on my Ubisoft now. I think that was like 70, 80 hours.
That's not a lot in comparison. Like I told you, it took me.
Oh,
3
I gave up
years
after
to-
like 100 hours.
Yeah, it took me 3 years to get through the Brotherhood trilogy.
That's still
I-
3
disrespectful.
games.
Brotherhood is still the best
Yeah.
I
one.
did not-
3
that
years,
I've ever
though.
played.
Come on now.
It was like a
If
year
it's not
per
a
game, bro.
priority to play,
Yeah.
then I don't think that's that big of a deal. Valhalla,
Bro, it was like a
literally just
year per game,
chore
bro.
to-
I'm gonna be
Valhalla
honest
is
with you.
literally a
I'm gonna be
chore
honest with
to
you. Brotherhood is the
play when you're
last Assassin's
trying
Creed
to
I ever
beat
played.
the
I ain't
game.
gonna lie.
He's not wrong. Actually,
Like,
play right now. 'cause it
You
should
can
tell you how
laugh.
long
I'm
I've
serious.
played.
Brotherhood is the last.
Brotherhood is
Assassin's
my
Creed I've ever-
favorite one.
Brotherhood is the last one I've ever played. I'm so serious. I have not played Assassin's Creed after that.
That's my problem with Valhalla. I was trying to beat that game, and it was just stretching on longer and longer.
That's how I felt about
Like,
Odyssey.
in not a good way.
That's all I'm saying. Like, hold on, let me see.
I might actually have to try the newer
Let me-
one.
let me look
So
at my-
Yeah, 78
Ghost of
hours.
Tsushima.
for
I'm
Valhalla.
almost sure my Ubisoft Connect account should tell me how long I was playing Valhalla. Pretty sure. I'm about to boot that up right now so I can get the accurate. I'm pretty sure it was like 100 hours. I was
We got
like,
all
I
the
can't
children
do
out.
this.
I got hold my baby too. It's all good.
I was like,
I don't
can't-
think it's the same.
I birthed this cat. What are you talking about?
I don't know that
baby.
it's the same, sir.
It's my baby.
Yo,
That one right there? Nah, that's basically a kid. That is basically a kid. Leona? Yes.
It's my
oh, that's the
baby.
spoiled one. That's the spoiled one.
Yeah, this is the one I had since she was 4 weeks old, like in the palm of my hand. Yeah.
All right, so let
my
me
child.
ask one more question. Does Assassin's Creed need microtransactions and season passes?
No,
No,
I don't
No.
think so, no.
No.
no, hell no.
not at all.
Y'all will kill that. Y'all will kill that franchise if y'all do that.
It's already there.
There's a battle pass.
In my personal
There's battle
opinion,
passes
What?
and season passes and microtransactions in
Mm,
Assassin's
already
Creed
there.
Shadows.
You mad late.
the only games that need battle passes, season passes, are multiplayer games.
And
Yep.
Free to
FPS
play
is
games. Yeah, FPSs too. Now I mean
Yeah.
games where you get things on the battle pass track.
Well, I
you
mean,
getting-
you do like you get weapons and you get like
But why
you
are
know-
you locking things like that behind the battle pass for a single player game,
exactly.
as opposed to making
They're
those
not-
things that
they're-
you just unlock naturally?
I mean, they're not necessary compared to what's already in game that you unlock.
I mean, it's not about
then
the
it's
fact of
pointless.
it being necessary.
No, I'm not saying.
It's-
I'm not saying
yeah.
they're not critical. It's kind of pointless to have the battle pass, in my opinion.
So
Oh,
it's just
okay.
fluff, extra fluff for them to. You pay $70 for the game, you pay what, $15
No,
for the battle
it's-
pass, $10.
You're not
Yeah,
paying.
It's a
anything.
built-in battle
Oh.
pass, but I think you can pay to unlock. You can pay to get the little credits things faster if you want, but you can actually unlock stuff in the
You can
game.
unlock everything for. All right, well that's
Yeah.
not too bad.
Oh, well,
That's-
then it's
But what
not
about
that
what
bad.
about the microtransactions? Isn't there like something that you can buy that is like
You mean the
time
system that's
skipped.
been in there since Origins?
isn't it something time skippy or something? Or
You got.
another-
I don't know if it's in this game, but the older of like Odyssey, Origins.
I know they had, like, a
you had to
XP
you paid for a permanent XP boost.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I haven't checked the store to see.
There
if
was
it's
there was I know that there was something in Shadows. I just don't know that it was an XP boost. There was
Oh, my
I heard
bad.
there was something. I don't know.
Oh, my bad. It's 53 hours. I gave up after 53 hours in Valhalla.
Still, that's a lot of
That's
time.
a long
Like
time.
Yeah, that's a lot of time to
long
put in.
time.
if you felt like you were dragging, but that was the whole point of
That's
it.
2
Like-
days.
Like, here's my thing.
Mhm.
53 hours, right? So you put 53 hours into Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it felt like you put in 100, and the game dragged. The game was bloated, and that's what I'm asking. That's what we're asking. Is it okay for a game to just be okay? That makes the game, even if it was entertaining in the slightest, it means it's okay. Because guess what? You felt like it dragged. You felt like it went on for entirely too long, and it just took you too long to do whatever you were doing, and you got fatigued from it. It's okay. It's not a bad game, but it's not a great game. It's not the best game in the world. It's not a 10. You don't have to write home about it. It's okay. Is it okay for a game to be okay?
I think so.
It-
I think
It
so.
is, but I don't think a game is okay if you've played 53 hours and it felt like 100 hours and you never beat it. I don't think that's an okay game. But it is okay for games to just be okay. Like I said, my favorite game on PS4 is Fallout 4. To me, that's an okay game. It's not the best game. It doesn't do what it does the best in its class, but it does a lot of things good.
Okay.
Yeah, like this was just not. This was not it.
This ain't it.
Valhalla,
I mean,
Valhalla was not it.
Everybody is free to feel that way. You know, you might play more and feel. You might play more and feel like, all right, I see where it was coming from now. You might not. You might never get that feeling, and that's fine.
That stamina system is enough to just be like, nah.
Honestly,
I'm
like
gonna- before we end, because we are at the tail end of our show. It's time for us to end. I just want to leave you guys with just a little bit more information, things that hopefully, you know, might be new to some people, but if they are new, then I'm happy to give you this little tidbit of news. First and foremost, Xbox has said that over the course of this year, they actually plan to bring a lot more games to the PlayStation and the Switch. So hopefully we'll be seeing more Xbox games on other platforms, and people can game wherever they want to. Next, the next Monster Hunter is going to be bringing in, you know, new monsters, as well as something that is going to be more challenging than Arc Tempered. So also, if you definitely want to be, if you're a Monster Hunter player, be on the lookout for that. And the last thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to give you guys a release date for Death Stranding 2. It has been confirmed it should be on the PlayStation Store. Death Stranding 2 should actually be launching on June 26th. So, with that being said, we have talked a lot about different games, and we have talked a lot about whether it's okay for a game to be okay. If you have more that you want to say, definitely leave us comments and try to get, you know, some more answers to you. We appreciate all you guys coming through. We definitely watch the chat. We try to be interactive with our chat because they're great. They are actually amazing people. And like some of the things that we get, some of the knowledge that we get just from the people who interact while we're live is amazing. And like I'm learning, you know what I'm saying? I'm always wanting to be learning. Like I said in the beginning, we are just trying to be the people who, you know, we want to deliver what we would like to experience ourselves. So anyway, with all of that, I want to say again, thank you, and we appreciate you for being here. And as you know, we always exit with if there's ever anything you want to do, ever anything you want to achieve, sometimes all you got to do is just press the start button. Yeah.
Peace.
Later, y'all.
Peace.